Welcome to Evolve Together with Empower People, where people are power. I'm Tiffany Joy Green, MBA. Here, clarity cuts, humor heals, and purpose drives transformation. Join the movement at www.empowerpeople.org and connect with us on YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Facebook, because when people are power, purpose wins. Welcome back to Evolve Together with Empower People. I'm Tiffany Joy Green, and this week, the headlines aren't whispering, they're shouting. We've got immigration policies tightening, the labor market acting like it drank a triple espresso, markets holding their breath waiting for the Fed, political power flipping midweek, and a new bill hitting the Senate floor that asks the oldest American question in the book. Who gets to belong? But before we dive into today, we anchor ourselves in our story, because this week in American history reminds us over and over again, power shifts, systems wobble, and people decide the future. So let's get into it. This week in our story is all about identity, belonging, and the rules we write to define who counts. On November 30th, 1874, Winston Churchill was born, not an American, but a global symbol of leadership in crisis. A reminder that leadership is not popularity, it's resolve. On December 1st, 1955, Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat, not because she was tired, but because she was done being told where she belonged. One woman, one act, and a movement ignited. December 2nd, 1823, the Moreno Doctrine was declared. A young America saying, "This hemisphere is ours to shape." A declaration of boundaries, for better and worse. December 4th, 1945, the Senate approved U.S. entry into the United Nations. American identity expanded from national to global responsibility. And on December 5th, 1933, Prohibition ended. A nation admitting, we made a rule that doesn't work for the people. Time to evolve. This week in our story has one message. Identity is never static. It's negotiated. It's contested. It's rewritten. And this week's headlines show that the negotiation isn't over. The U.S. ordered enhanced vetting for H-1B visa applicants, including reviewing resumes, LinkedIn, and past work in content moderation. The government says this is about security, but when you're vetting people for what they posted, what they moderated, or the speech they handled online, you're not screening for danger, you're screening for ideology. Purpose lens, immigration policy always is a mirror. It shows whether a nation leans with fear or with confidence. When belonging becomes conditional, contribution becomes impossible. Jobless claims dropped to lowest level in more than 3 years, according to Reuters. On paper, fantastic news, but the story underneath is more complicated. Low jobless claims don't mean workers are thriving, it means they're employed. Different thing entirely. Purpose lens, employment without well-being is survival, not success. A job is not a life, and the labor market isn't a heart monitor. According to Reuters, global markets steady as traders expect potential rate cuts amid economic jitters. Whenever the Fed coughs, America panics. Mortgage rates, credit cards, business loans. Your life is basically a hostage to a decimal point. Purpose lens, macroeconomics is personal. Interest rates don't just move markets. They move marriages, moves, families, futures. You can't budget your way out of a bad policy. According to Reuters, Tennessee special election shifts balance of power in Congress. This is the part of democracy people forget. It's not the big elections that change everything, it's the quiet ones. The ones we don't live stream. The ones where turnout is so low that a handful of people decide what the rest of us will feel. Purpose lens, power changes hands when people show up or don't. If you don't vote, someone else is voting for you. According to Forbes, there's a bill proposed ending dual citizenship for Americans. Oh, we're going big today. Senator Moreno just introduced a bill to eliminate dual citizenship, forcing Americans to choose a single national identity. Purpose lens, this isn't about passports, it's about power. The power to define who belongs, who is suspect, who is welcome, and who is other. America has always been a nation of hyphens. African American, Italian American, Mexican American, Asian American. Hyphens tell our story. When a country fears dual identity, it's because it's unsure of its own. Here are 5 actions you can take today to move from passive consumer to active citizen. 1. Audit your identity. Ask yourself, who defines who you are? You or a system? 2. Check your civic pulse. Look up your next local election. Put it in your calendar. 3. Raise the conversation at work. Economic headlines aren't abstract. Ask your employer, how are we preparing for rate changes, market shifts? 4. Support immigrant-owned businesses. Visibility is power. Dollars create belonging. 5. Protect your attention. Headlines aren't meant to paralyze you. They're meant to inform you. Don't let them steal your agency. America is in another identity crisis, but that's nothing new. This country has reinvented itself 100 times, and every time it was people, not politicians, who pushed it forward. Remember this, your identity is yours. Your belonging is yours. Your power is yours. We don't wait for systems to evolve. We evolve together. I'm Tiffany Joy Green, and this is Evolve Together with Empower People. See you next week. And remember, empower people is where people are power. Let's evolve together. Don't forget to hit subscribe and join Empower People today.